Hi, I'm Philip Blackburn, a 46-year-old resident of St. Paul, Minnesota. The accent came from England, home of Clive Pierce, of course, and the name Blackburn comes from the ancestral home of Susan Boyle, a little village up in Scotland. And I'm a composer by profession and interest, environmental sound artist. I create sonic playgrounds, I run a record label. I'm definitely not a designer, and I've never designed an armchair, even though I've got a bunch of them here from my old days back in England. So this was a 1900 farmhouse, 3,000 square feet, in a beautiful setting, but white everywhere, kitchen falling apart, ruins everywhere, tiles super ugly, plywood rotting on the floor. I ripped everything out, started again more or less from scratch, and tried these things for the first time with a whole bunch of power tools from Craigslist, that theme that will come back in just a moment, because I'm nothing if not a cheapskate Craigslist bargain hunter. So what you're seeing here is a whole granite tile area throughout the whole kitchen here, and this is Norwegian blue pearl granite that you can see glimmering and shimmering as the light changes. There's a whole bunch of skylights and windows here that change throughout the day, and I'm really interested in the house as a kind of light box, and how it is dynamic and moves around you, has some kind of cool industrial effects, such as the stained Italian porcelain tiles that I've got on the floor here. What a mess that was to dig up tile, pound away, create mess for the lungs, but how satisfying it is to be able to walk on it right now. And the cool industrial tones of that contrast with the kind of organic detail we find in the cork wall here. Not intended as a cork wall, rather a cork floor, but if I'm going to walk up close to something, I want it to be really beautiful when seen in detail here, and this cork certainly does that to me. So this is the floor that almost got me arrested. I was putting it in late one winter night, and 4 cops show up outside the window in silhouette and try and interrogate and arrest me, because there were reports of copper thieves stealing copper piping from foreclosed homes. So after about 10 minutes, I persuade them that I'm actually installing a brand new floor and that they can come in and check it out if they want. So I tell the cop that this is Brazilian hardwood, koa or zebra wood from Lumber Liquidators, and price it out per square foot. And she takes down all of the details in her notepad after licking her pencil and says, "Oh, sir, that's very interesting, because I was going to put in laminate flooring in my own house, and now this is a much preferable product. Thank you for the tip." So instead of getting arrested, I get a certificate of authenticity and approval from the St. Paul Police Department. And what do you do with a trashy bathroom that yet has a beautiful James Turrell style skylight? Well, you rip out the rotten old cupboard, you go shopping. One of my great skills, I would have to say, is, if not eBay or Amazon, definitely Craigslist. The style that I most adhere to, except for the steampunk kind of feel of this particular bathroom, is, it could be called Craigslist chic. So we've got an old Singer sewing machine here. It sings, but it doesn't sew. And this beautiful copper vessel sink is one of 4 in the house. So if Howard Hughes drops by, or anyone else with obsessive compulsive hand washing disorder, they would find a very happy place to spend some time. So copper, various metals, that's from Amazon. That's one of the great things about being an armchair designer who's never really tried anything before. Plumbing, the joys of plumber. Philip the plumber here telling you that if you can make water come in from the outside, go through the kind of pretty things you want it to do, and then go out again without any drips, it's one of those great satisfying miracles. So for the entire life cycle of a drop of water, it has a split second when it falls past your hand, and then it disappears again. Now I have a greater appreciation for all of that. This Moroccan mirror also came from a Craigslist find, and there's a bunch of marble here, but we'll get back to marble if you step this way. When a house is trashed, it's really trashed. That includes the walls. What do you do where there are giant holes in the walls punched through the drywall? You can patch them up and smooth them and try and make them brand new again, or you can do the opposite. You can texturize them. So cast your mind back to when you were 6 years old, you had a little craft class in school. Why not get texture paint and obsessively, compulsively put your fingers through there, and it has a kind of echo of some Victorian tin ceiling, I think, and it solves the solution pretty nicely of how to make a new thing out of an old technique. This dining room table was planned long after the colour, the turquoise aquamarine feel here, was designed to balance kind of a cooling aspect to the really hot colours of the great room there. And lo and behold, what do you find on Craigslist? Designer Italian furniture with just exactly matching comfy chairs. Bathroom number 2 here is full of, like, the before. This ugly tile, this ugly colour of jacuzzi tub. It was more than I could handle to dig up more tile and start from scratch like I did in the kitchen. So try and provide some context by dramatic colours, some complementary colours, some industrial blue greys and some agate jadey kind of greens here, and bring in some copper. David Bromstad says everything is better when done in threes, and we've definitely got 3 pieces of copper here, personalised with an acid washing technique made famous by Andy Warhol and suitable for bathrooms. In the reuse centre, because I'm also about bargain hunting as well as recycling, this was some fancy marble fireplace, but it's been reused in kind of Lego-like fashion throughout the house in various guises. And after I'd figured out a way to drill through that marble, I was able to put on this beautiful sink here and plumb in faucet number 2. Down it goes, no drips. They call it the throne room for a reason. What an elegant throne we have here. We're now downstairs in the cold and musty basement, made fresh again with hot colours from upstairs. Elegant stuff. Blue rubber, what do they call that? Johnsonite tiling. So it feels like you could do a gym or yoga practice down here. And how about this for a bathroom? I feel the urge to wash my hands in some kind of who knows what. Do you have a bathroom like this at home? So drama is brought back into the act of washing your hands. See, it works. Beautiful yellow glass vessel sink here. A bright blue kind of alcove that was not like this when I first started. And how many bathrooms have one of these? An infinity mirror made out of mylar. And actually there's a loudspeaker behind here, so you can see yourself in the world of infinity like the end of 2001 as you wash your hands. Come away with more than just clean hands. This is actually the second house that I fixed up. The first was down in Belize, which was a kind of improvisation in concrete and what you can do with no plans or blueprints to follow. And so down there I'd been in the caves and seen what the Maya did with their pottery thousands of years ago during their ritual sacrifices. So how appropriate when in this downstairs bathroom with no electricity or lights I had pulled down one of the walls and revealed the original 1900 farmhouse wall right here, showing the original stone texture. So I put it behind a shower glass and found a piece of old pottery that the cat had knocked off and placed it there. So it's now turned into an archaeological kind of feature reminiscent of Notre Dame in Paris, or where you can walk through the catacombs. And maybe 1,000 years from now, people will find this house and wonder whatever happened.